Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, know you'll stand tall. Sat and watched from the sidelines one too many times. Wicked games we play make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude knowing it'll be over soon. Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is win, so show me my opponent. Adversity, doubt, stress, could care less, cause how we handle those like an S on our chest. Super proud of how we held it down on the way up. Can't wait for our day to ball. This is a layup. Nobody ever said this would be easy.
All right, $79 this lens cost, and everything you saw at the beginning of that little montage right there was filmed with this setup right here, which is my Blackmagic PYXIS 6K. Now, I just started using this 6K, and then I have the Cinema 6K as well. Now, it is crazy because I've been on YouTube for 5 years and I've predominantly done tech. And so that's keyboards, mice, audio products, gaming peripherals, different stuff like that, right? And over time, I've grown my passion for videography and photography. And so I'm jumping deep into this side of YouTube, if you will. And I needed something, literally just anything, to start learning how to do some of these things. So, I mean, the deep end, right? So I switched from Premiere Pro to DaVinci Resolve. I'm editing Blackmagic RAW and and other log, right? I'm starting to shoot log with my Sonys as well. And I just needed a lens to get me started on this while I have another one coming. But this one was $79. So, you know, what better to start and see what I'm capable of doing without spending a lot of money. So any tips or anything like that you may have, put them in the comment section below. This is definitely a community. I am not that prideful YouTuber that believes they know everything. I just get a chance to touch these things, and I'll share my vantage points and my opinions and facts that I learn along the way. But if there's something that you want to share, definitely put that in the comment section below. But I'm super shocked at what this can create. So let's go out and take and do some more content with this, because what I'm seeing so far is it's pretty freaking dope. I say that humbly.
Give me more, give me more. I've been knocking on that door for a minute. I ain't finished. I got wishes to explore. Now my wish is my command. It's myself who I employ. With my brothers, we got memories. We ready to enjoy. Feel it coming now. This isn't for nothing. Finish running, finish rushing. Yeah, this ain't no discussion. We got so much life.
So this lens is the AstrHori 50mm f2.0. Now, I'm actually not sure when this lens came out. I purchased this with my own money. Again, I was just looking for something that I could get really fast and affordable from B&H Photo. So I'm actually super surprised at the quality of this lens. This is a complete metal design. And it's interesting because it says it's an f2.0, but if you look at it, it goes beyond f2.0, and it's almost like it goes to about f1.8 maybe, or something like that. And so that was surprising for me when I finally got this in and took a look at it. As you can see, that thing is completely wide open. And so it's super shocking, but it's all really well built. It's a metal, like I said, a metal design. There's no gasket or weather sealing or anything like that on it. It is the L mount, as I mentioned, and this comes in multiple mounts. It comes in other variants, and so I may end up buying another one for my for like my A7C II that I use for photography, taking a lot of pictures and stuff, as using this with my Cinema 6K and my PYXIS 6K. It's gonna be all videography. So let's just go over the specs real quick, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the lens. The lens is, like I said, a 50mm. It's f2.0, but like I said, it goes to a little bit maybe f1.8. It has both meter and feet markings as far as like the distance, and that's something that I'm learning to understand, right, as someone that's primarily used autofocus my entire career. And that's kind of why I started with the Fuji X-T3 back in the day. I'll talk about that on a future video, just for the autofocus and the dials and simple use of learning how to use it. Now this says it's an f2 to f16. Again, sorry to beat a dead horse, but it's f1.8 or 7 maybe to an f16 as far as the how fast the lens is, which means in super bright scenarios, you will have to rely on something like a variable ND filter or something like that. When I was outside at the pool and things like that, I had to use this because f16 isn't enough to manage direct sunlight. And it's a 52mm thread, which is kind of cool because I didn't have to buy anything new. I was able to use the same V&D filter that I use all the time with my Viltrox lenses that I got from Newer with my own money as well. And a little bit about like the more intricate details of this lens. It's an angle view of 31.2 degrees. That's something, again, I'm learning as far as like offset from the center of the lens. Minimum focal distance is 19.7 inches or half a meter, it says, which it's manual focus, right? So it's always hard to kind of tell because when it's autofocus and you're relying on autofocus, that's a lot more detrimental as far as the distance out that it can focus, subject to the front of the lens, etc. But with manual focus, you got a lot more leadway to try to make it work. 6 elements in 5 groups with 9 aperture blades on this particular lens. And as I showed you a second ago, you can see those blades open up when you're moving the dial in and out. And so this is a really, I'm just super surprised at how well this is built. No image stabilization, so that's why my footage is kind of rocky, if you will. And I haven't done any post gyro or anything like that with the PYXIS. Like what you're seeing is fresh out of the camera. Obviously it's B-roll, like I said a little bit earlier, and I'm having to make some tweaks and edit the color, and so all of that stuff will get easier over time. But in the hands of a complete newbie, I think that this thing has produced some really nice footage. As far as like the size or the measurements of this particular lens, it is super small. It can fit basically in my hand, and I have small hands. I don't have massive hands or anything like that. So 2.3 by 2 inches or 58 by 52 millimeters is kind of the size of this thing, and it's 10.9 ounces or 310 grams. So this, and for all intents and purposes, is a super light lens. I'm just shocked by what you can get for $79. I've used Viltrox lenses for years, and you get a lot for $150 to $200 range with their regular Air series, and then like they have the Lab series now, the Pro series, which are gonna get $500 and $1,000 somewhere in there. But I've always been shocked by what you can get from that. But this has made me want to try out a lot more lenses, and so I'm gonna be trying out some more brands in that budget range here in the future. So if you have any suggestions, put them in the comment section below. So using this set, it's pretty simple. You have to get used to the manual focus and the pulling and throwing focus, and so I'm getting used to that. But it is like, if it's your first time doing it, then it can be difficult, but I'm starting to get the hang of it, although I definitely need practice when doing this. So in conclusion, I think this lens is really nice. It surprised me a lot, and it's interesting that you can get something like this for $79. I've used Viltrox lens in the past, and with those Viltrox lens, I've been able to basically launch my YouTube career and get affordable, products with really high quality, and I think this fits the bill as well. With that being said, I didn't do any test charts or anything like that because I firmly believe in putting a product through use cases versus putting them, painting it, looking at the wall and looking at, how sharp the image is in the middle and things like that. Because at the end of the day, lenses will have either clean, you know, clinical looks, or they're gonna have artistic character, and putting it at a chart doesn't really tell the real story. And also it's $79, right? And so you're gonna get what you paid for. And then sometimes you're gonna be surprised with what you get for what you paid for when in the budget realms, like this particular lens by AstrHori. It's the same thing for when you buy something from Viltrox, etc. On this channel, I probably won't do a lot of those things. I'm fairly new, like I said, to this space, but even still, I've used the camera for long enough that I know what looks good, or at least looks pleasing, or at least matches a consistency and style that I like to put out. The test, you know, the charts and all that's not always going to tell the full story, and so I'm probably not going to spend a lot of time on that. But I mean, that's why you watch a lot of different reviews, to get an understanding from different vantage points and different creators, etc., you know, what you may be able to expect before going out and doing your own research and then making your purchase. But at $79, this one definitely surprised me. I really like this lens. I think it's definitely something that I'm going to be able to use a lot going forward. I may even buy it again for my E-mount system from my Sony a7C II for photography, and then using it for that versus just videography on my L-mount systems by Blackmagic. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, any questions or anything like that you may have in the comment section below. And if you're interested in learning and going on this journey with me, consider subscribing and joining the Cozy Coalition. But as always, stay cozy in that crazy world, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.